Plastic waste has become a significant challenge for Ghana in recent years, affecting almost every community across the country. The nation generates over 1 million tons of plastic waste annually, with only about 2 to 5% of this being recycled.
Ghana generates about a little over 1 million tons of plastics every year. And then unfortunately, between 2 to 5% of this waste is properly handled or recycled.
This paints a grim picture of the plastic waste crisis in the West African country. In the Ashanti region, once known as the Garden City of Ghana, the situation is particularly concerning. The previously green environment has been overtaken by an influx of plastic products, resulting in gutters and various parts of the city being covered with these materials. Alaba, located in the Kumasi Central Business District, is one of the hardest hit areas.
These bottles are even too small. All the gutters have clogged here. 1 minute after a downpour, this place is mostly covered with plastic waste. The plastic products do not really help us. Some people, after consuming the content, just dump the waste anyhow.
After every downpour, the region is often inundated with plastic waste, leaving residents anxious about the consequences.
There is an invasion of mosquitoes here due to plastic waste. There are so many mosquitoes here. We can't even stand outside in the evening. All the gutters here have clogged.
While several efforts have been made to address this challenge, they have proven inadequate. The collection of plastic waste poses significant difficulties for the few local processing companies.
It is worth mentioning that within the waste management or waste collection system, there's a gap between generation and collection. What it means is that with this plastics that we are talking of, although about 1 million is generated in a year, as I mentioned, about 5%, between 2 and 5% is collected, leaving a whooping still almost in the millions unattended to. The question we ask ourselves is, where do all these remaining plastics go to?
Despite the installation of waste bins in Kumasi City Center to facilitate the efficient collection of both plastic and solid waste, many people continue to ignore these directives.
I have cleaned my frontage right now, but people have dropped waste here again. The government should have done something different for us instead of the dustbins. Previously, individuals were deployed to guide people on how to properly separate and dump their waste. But now, no one is here, so people dump the waste anyhow. If the laws were effective and people were being prosecuted, I don't think this would have happened. Around the military barracks, the laws work there, so people do not dump waste anyhow.
To holistically minimize the widespread circulation of plastic waste in the Ashanti region, the Kumasi Compost and Recycling Plant, KCAP, was commissioned in October 2020 by then President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, alongside the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei II and other government officials.
This intervention underlines our commitment to a clean environment. Recovery of various fractions, such as plastics, paper and metal, will be made available for the manufacturing sector for reuse.
This plant, the largest of its kind in Africa, was inaugurated to receive and recycle municipal solid waste in Kumasi and its surrounding areas. It occupies 180 acres of land in Adija and has the capacity to process 2,400 tons of waste daily, including compost, plastics, metals, and paper products. During a tour of some parts of the facility led by its Business Development and Communications Manager, Mr. Eugene Amo Asamoah, I learned how plastic waste is received and separated from other materials.
On a daily basis, we receive waste from several trucks from the waste collectors, and when they come, our first point of call is the weighing bridge, where waste is weighed to ascertain the actual tonnages that are coming in. After that is done, the waste trucks are brought to the receiving bay, where all the waste in their raw form are kept here. So you can see some of the motorized bicycles pouring down their waste in a mixed form.
In Ghana, waste is typically brought in mixed forms, which poses a significant challenge for many companies. However, KCAP has deployed modern equipment and technologies that effectively segregate and process plastic waste.
And when they come, after we've actually ascertained the tonnages at the weighing bridge, they are brought to the receiving bay for the process to begin. And then when we have a material recovery facility at KCAP, that's the biggest compost and recycling plant in Africa, when this mixed waste is pushed through all the material recovery facilities, as I mentioned to you earlier on, the waste fractions are separated. Well, over here we have a ballistic separator that actually handles the plastics, and then they separate the plastics into the two-dimensional form and also the three-dimensional form.
That's not all.
And after the material recovery facility, the MRF, has finished with the segregation of the waste into various fractions, all the PET bottles are either baled with this giant baler, or they are either sent to the multipurpose crusher for flaking to be done on them. So over here you can see the baler baling these PET bottles, and when they are baled, they are sent to other companies that use the PET as a raw material for the production of the fiber in the hair of all that the ladies use. The ladies use our reflective jackets, some additives in paints, and all clothing, football jerseys and the likes.
The plastic waste undergoes several stages during the processing phase before being pelletized.
This is the process that it goes through. We crush them into the crushers, and then we have this pond that washes them, mostly because they are in a mixed form. As part of the municipal solid waste, they are dirty, so we wash them, and then we have the squeezer, which actually takes out the water from the wet form of the plastics. As you see here, this is the HM, the sachet, and also the low density polyethylene that are being crushed, washed, and squeezed. After all is said and done, they are sent to the extruder, which actually melts. They are subject to high temperatures, which melts the plastics, and then they come through the nozzles as like noodles. So the end game of these plastics are what we call these plastic pellets. The plastic pellets, and these are for use. If you have this as pellets, the plastic that you saw, be it the HM, that's the sachet, be it the low density polyethylene, be it the HDPE and the likes, they are all subjected to this process called pelletization. And when we have them in pellets, then they are used for other plastic products.
Although previous governments have attempted to resolve the issue, it remains a daunting challenge.
So we want to use this platform to call
Ashanti Regional Minister Dr. Frank Amokohene mentioned that steps are being taken to partner with private organizations to enhance plastic waste recycling in the region.
We received some proposals where we are treated to partner with companies as in the form of PPP. So we are still discussing that, and I'm sure that if we're able to, as it were, get this recycling project done, we should be able to have a firm control over these plastic waste among others.
The Kumasi Compost and Recycling Plant is working diligently to mitigate the effects of plastic waste in both the Ashanti region and the nation as a whole. However, additional support is needed, including proper collection of plastic waste, subsidies for electricity bills, and improved road network connectivity to significantly reduce the challenges in the region. Until these measures are implemented, the Ashanti region may continue to struggle with issues related to plastic waste for a much longer period. For Orange FM, I'm Fatal Bayaka, Kumasi.